Thanks for stopping by. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a comment, and please think about subscribing. And hey, remember, watching just 30 seconds of an ad helps us creators more than you know. You're awesome. Have an amazing day. Let's begin.
My wife, 33F, cheated on me, 35M, with my boss. I was then humiliated and fired without merit. This is how I got the last laugh. This is a throwaway account because I still have some former colleagues lurking around Reddit. This post is going to be long, so buckle up. If you've ever had everything crash around you, only to come out stronger, this is for you. Let's start with the red flags I ignored. Amber and I were together for almost 10 years. We've been married for 7. We met in college. I remember it perfectly. She was this fiery, sharp girl, who always kept me on my toes. We weren't perfect, but I truly thought we were solid. I work in marketing and have been at this mid-sized firm for nearly a decade. I'd climbed from intern to senior project manager. The pay was great. I was respected by my clients and I was trusted by my team. Then there was my boss, let's call him Greg. Greg was like a walking cliché. He was loud, arrogant, and exuded an alpha wannabe energy. He was married, had 7 kids, and always talked like his wife was a burden and a saint in the same sentence. Greg and Amber first met at a company party, maybe 3 years ago. He was charming in that greasy car salesman kind of way. After we got home, she wouldn't stop gushing about him, nothing over the top, but enough for me to take notice. I remember one particular Christmas party. Amber was wearing this emerald, green velvet dress. She looked absolutely stunning. Greg walked up to her while I was chatting with a client and says loudly, "Damn, Marcus, you outkicked your coverage with this one." Amber laughed. Not a chuckle but a full-on giggle like a blushing teenager. I pulled her aside after. "Me, what was that about?" "Amber, he's harmless. He says stuff like that to everyone." "No, he didn't. I'd never seen him say anything like that to anyone else's wife. Over time he'd randomly bring Amber up in office meetings. Greg, hey Marcus, tell Amber thanks for the cookies she brought in. Real wife material." Or during lunch breaks. "Greg, your woman's got good taste in wine. By the way, what was that dish she brought to the retreat? Made me feel like a damn king." It was weird. But I told myself not to overthink it. We're adults and I knew Amber loved me and I trusted her. Man. Was I stupid. The day everything crashed was a Friday. I got out of a client pitch early, and thought I'd treat Amber. I picked up her favorite Thai from this little spot downtown. She loved their spicy drunken noodles. After I grabbed the food, I headed home. I didn't bother calling. I wanted to surprise her. That was my first mistake. Or blessing depending on how you look at it. I pulled into the driveway. I noticed a sleek black BMW parked outside. I thought maybe it was a neighbor's. I walked in, and it was quiet, except for music coming from upstairs. Something slow and jazzy, completely out of place for Amber. I went up the stairs and opened our bedroom door. There they were. Amber, naked, Greg, also naked, in our bed. Amber saw me and said, with the calm of someone telling you the weather, "Marcus, you're not supposed to be home yet." Greg looked over his shoulder and smirked. Greg, well damn. This is awkward. I just stood there with my mouth open. The Thai food bag dangling from my hand. Amber sat up, casually covering herself with the comforter. Amber, well, I guess there's no use hiding it now. "You've got to be kidding me," I finally said. Greg shrugged. "Look man. We didn't plan for this to happen. It just did. You're a good dude. But Amber and we click. I dropped the food on the floor. Me, get the hell out of my house. Amber raised her voice. No, Marcus, you get out. I filed for divorce. The papers should hit your inbox Monday. The way she said those words, so casual and cold, my heart crumbled in my chest and tears stung my eyes. But before I let them see me cry, I left. I drove straight to my brother's. I sat in his driveway for 20 minutes before I could even get the strength to go in. It took me a few days before I felt I was ready to face going back to work and seeing Greg. When I walked through the doors, I was met with an unpleasant sight. Amber was strolling around like she owned the place. According to my colleague, she had been there every day since I had been off, for one reason or another. She would drop off lunch for Greg. One day she brought his dry cleaning. Then there were the personal meetings between the two, where he would shutter his blinds and lock the door, telling everyone to hold his calls. I thought I was going to be sick. A couple of times I caught Amber's eyes when she was leaving, and she gave me a little smirk. She didn't even care. They were throwing their affair in my face and they were enjoying making me look like a fool. I had no choice but to grin and bear it. I couldn't just quit without another job lined up. The market was bad right now, and my savings wouldn't keep me afloat for too long. 2 weeks later, Mrs. Smith, Greg's longtime secretary, was fired. No warning. No goodbye email. Just gone. A few days later, Amber was sitting at her desk. I asked him during a meeting break, what happened to Mrs. Smith? Greg grinned and just said, she wasn't a cultural fit anymore. I needed someone sharper. Office whispers started almost immediately. People avoided me in the break room. Many of them gave me pitying stares. One afternoon, I heard 2 junior associates talking when they thought I wasn't around. Their conversation went something like this. That's the manager's wife, isn't it? The one cozying up to the boss? The first one asked. I heard she left him for the boss. The second replied. Wow, that's humiliating. The first one whispered back. I bit my tongue and walked away. What could I say? This was all humiliating, and it just kept getting worse. Greg loved twisting the knife. In a meeting he had the gall to say, some of you are letting personal issues affect performance. That's not going to fly here. I clenched my fists so hard my nails dug into my palms. Amber would laugh loudly in the hallway. Once, I caught her showing Greg something on her phone while sitting on the edge of his desk. She looked up, met my eyes, and winked. I felt like I was being torn apart on the inside. It went on like that for weeks. One afternoon, Greg called me into his office. I knew this wasn't going to be good. Me, what's going on? Without any preamble he replies. Marcus, we've got to let you go. Me, excuse me? Greg, your work hasn't been up to par lately. Me, that's bull, and you know it. Greg, come on man. Don't make this emotional. It's just business. Me, you're firing me so you can play house with my wife without guilt. That's what this is. He leaned back in his chair. Greg, look Marcus. Life moves on. You should too. I packed my things in silence. I walked past Amber's desk. For once, she didn't gloat. She didn't even look up. I was crushed. Angry. Ashamed. Depressed. My sister called me a few days later. I had told my family everything that happened. They were pissed on my behalf. Baby sis, you're really going to let them ruin you? Come on, get it together. Me, what do I even do now? Baby sis, start your own firm. You've got plenty of contacts. You've got talent, to hell with them. I took a long moment to think about what she said. Could I start my own business? It would take a lot of work, time, and money. But after careful consideration, I knew she was right, and this was a tremendous opportunity. I knew I had the knowledge to succeed with. I have been wallowing ever since I caught them in bed together. Enough is enough. I can't let this one moment dictate my life. I took the next few days writing business proposals for loans, researching business licenses, small commercial properties for lease, and everything I would need to get a business up and running. I was able to get 2 hefty loans, and my family invested the rest of what I needed. My cousin built my new website, and I was back in business. I worked 16-hour days from my tiny apartment at first. Then word started to spread. Former clients even reached out. Within 3 months, I had an office space, a team of 5, and Greg's biggest 2 clients were mine now. Remember Mrs. Smith? Greg's ex-secretary. I found her on Facebook. I invited her for coffee and told her my plan. I'd be honored to have you as my secretary. She cried. Right there in the cafe. Mrs. Smith, I thought I was too old to start over. You're not old and I would love to have you on my team. We shook on it. It wasn't long after I really settled into my business before rumors started to trickle in. Greg's company was tanking. Staff turnover was crazy. Investors pulled out left and right, and many clients vanished. Another snippet I heard was that Greg's wife got wise to his cheating. She showed up at the building unannounced one day. Amber was there in Greg's office, clothes disheveled, and makeup a mess. When the wife was able to get in, there was a full confrontation. I'm talking screaming, slapping, and hair-pulling. Amber ended up with a broken nose. The police got called. Greg's wife filed for divorce, and she's told anyone who would listen. She's taking him for everything he's got. All I could do was chuckle when I heard it all. A month ago, Amber showed up at my apartment unannounced. Her eyes were puffy. Her nose was still slightly crooked from Greg's wife's right hook. Amber, I made a mistake. I was stupid. Please give me a chance to talk. You lost that chance when you brought him into our bed. Amber, he ruined everything. He used me. And you let him. Amber, I still love you. I don't. Not anymore. I shut the door in her face. Fast forward to the present. Business is booming. I'm hiring more staff. Clients love us. Mrs. Smith runs my schedule like a boss. I'm slowly dating again. I met someone nice. No labels yet. Just, peace. If you're curious about Greg? Well, his firm's almost bankrupt. His staff abandoned him and word is he's looking for jobs again. As for Amber? Don't know. Don't care. To wrap things up, I guess I will conclude by saying this. Sometimes karma doesn't just knock on the door. She breaks the whole damn door down. Thanks for reading.